Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Sophie?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Great, doing great. Appreciate your time and won't keep you for too long, but want to get into this show coming up here at the Whisky and talk a little guitar with you. But starting off, I'm kind of curious, who was that person that made you want to pick up the guitar to begin with? Was there one band or artist that you saw and you're like, I need to do that?
There's a few different people. One was definitely Slash. He's been an inspiration of mine forever. Also, Orianthi was a really big inspiration, especially the song she did with Steve Vai, Highly Strung. That was one that I heard, and also seeing her, she's quite kind of similar to me in a way. And I was like, she was such an inspiration. I was like, oh my God, I could do that. Like, I could be like that.
That's awesome. So it was initially Slash and then Orianthi later, I imagine.
Yes, yeah. Slash I sort of got into, because my dad was really into the kind of old school bands and stuff. So I got really, really into them. And then I found Orianthi through like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and stuff.
But it all starts with Slash, the top hat and the cigarette hanging out the mouth.
It does, yes, yes. Catch me on my next tour with a top hat and a cigarette, so I'm not cool enough to pull that off.
So if you were to do like a Mount Rushmore of guitar players, that's who would include Slash and Orianthi?
Orianthi, yeah, and then probably Eddie Van Halen
Oh yeah.
and Joe Satriani.
Oh gosh. Yeah. That's a
That
hell of a Mount
I was
Rushmore.
gonna say, yeah, that'll be my Mount Rushmore.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to this. Your debut solo show, first solo show ever, coming up here at the Whiskey on Thursday, January the 16th, the legendary Whiskey a Go Go.
Mm. I am so, so excited for it. Like I've been to the Whiskey once before when I went to LA to see Glenn Hughes,
Oh,
and that was one of my favorite shows ever. And you can really feel the magic and like the history in that venue.
yeah.
It's awesome. It's like nothing we really have here in England. So I just loved it, and it being so close to Rainbow as well. Like the location is just so rich with that rock and roll culture that I've followed for so long.
And for the solo show, also going to have Nathan James and Lauren Babbitt handling all the vocals, and basically you're going to be playing the entire Imposter Syndrome album, or what's the set wise?
Yeah, pretty much. Like we did one at the Underworld in the UK, which is kind of a similar rock and roll venue. And we had two singers there. So we wanted a male and a female vocalist. And Lauren Babick and Nathan James are both just absolute powerhouses. Like they're incredible. And they both have such different styles as well. So I think it will be a cool, like, different flavor for both of them. And then we also have some other guests that I haven't announced yet. Some little secret guests that are going to be
Ah,
joining us as well. Some other guests from the album. So that's really, really exciting. So it's going to be a whole night of very talented musicians and people. It's yeah, very really exciting.
yeah, I wanted to dig into some of those on the album in a few, but also just to round out the bill, we also have Dead Posey and Blaze Francisco on the bill as well.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I've been a fan of like Dead Posey for so long. Like I think their music is so cool, it's so catchy. So
Yeah.
I'm really really excited. And the same with Blaze. Like Blaze, I discovered sort of more recently, and like his songwriting is just so interesting, cool. Like I think it's going to be a really cool, like unique night of all the different artists. I think it's going to be an incredible show. Honestly, it is.
Different sounds and styles and
Exactly.
shredding.
Yeah. All the shredding. Yes.
I'm curious. Is there going to be some instrumentals mixed in? I mean, because the album, there are some on the album, but for the most part, it's songs with vocals. Is there going to be some like instrumental shredding throughout the show as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like my career was kind of founded on like specifically these shred versions that I would upload to YouTube of like popular songs. So that will definitely be incorporated. And you can always see, I always like to get like the crowd participation involved in those ones because it's songs that the audience just know so well. So they
Right.
always go down really well, get people dancing, get people singing and like chanting and creating that audience interaction is so much fun. So yes, there will definitely be some really, really cool moments like that. We've worked hard to kind of incorporate it and make it a full show. Like it's not just the album, it's like there's so many different bits that are incorporated into it to make it a full spectacle of silly guitar nonsense.
Well, I think it's really smart to balance it out because you got to have that melody in there. I think sometimes it's easy for an audience to get lost if it's just shredding for an hour and a half. You know what I mean, or 90 minutes, whatever the case may be. So I think it's incorporate the songs with vocals and choruses and things
Yeah.
for people to hook onto, along with the shredding. To have that balance is so important.
Exactly. Like, because although I do love instrumental music, I am also like most stuff I listen to has vocals and has, as you
Sure.
say, the hooks, the choruses. That's what I absolutely love as well. So I think it's definitely got something for everyone there. Like everyone can hook onto a certain thing. And I think, yeah, we're just putting on a whole spectacle. So I really think it's gonna work really well.
Love it. Love the album, and kind of curious for the album. I imagine it was a balance of both, but you tell me as far as writing the songs and the list of talented people that you had chip in, were you writing directly for them or kind of writing the song and then kind of figuring out the singer to go with it after the fact?
It kind of changed with each song. Like I had an idea. I had like a list of dream vocalists that I wanted to get on it, and at the top of that list was Lizzie Hale. So that was amazing that that came through, and Matt Heafy as well was at the top too. And so I kind of had songs that I wrote for them, or at least that style of vocal, I guess. So and then if it wasn't them, we'd like choose someone else that was quite like similar to their style or more rounded, that could kind of fit into that genre well. Uh, and some I just wrote because I was like, I want to write like Runaway. I was just like, I want to write this 80s kind of metal Van Halen, kind of song. So and then who better than Michael Starr to front that one,
Of course.
it was, so that it was kind of like we wrote it during COVID, so it was very like we were like kind of locked in our house while we were writing it.
Uh,
So it wasn't like we were in a studio with the vocalists and could kind of bounce off each other that way. It was kind of the instrumentals were all written first, and then we sent them out to the vocalists, and they would kind of come back with their melodies on top, and then we might change certain bits. We might add certain guitar licks or solos or something to fit in with that vocal melody. So it still was like a collaborative effort, but it was all kind of virtual and online. But I think it ended up working really well.
yeah, I mean, it sounds amazing. And it's interesting that the two that were at the top of your hit list, Lizzie Hale and Matt Heafy, I almost feel like with them, you could have them pick up the guitar too and throw that on as, like how do you lead
Yeah.
guitar off their necks?
Yeah, definitely. And like it was cool because Chris Robertson from Blackstone Cherry was like, when he heard the song, he was like, oh, I really want to do a guitar solo over this little bit. Do you mind if I throw something on that? And I was like, yes, please do. That
Oh,
would be
cool.
awesome.
And he
And
did do it.
yeah, he did do it. And I think that really added something cool to the song as well. Like it was, yeah, it was great to have that on there. And that specific, his sound and his style was really cool.
But Matt and Lizzie leaving the guitar off for their tracks.
Yeah, leaving the guitar off. I think it was just sort of a matter of interest what they wanted to do. I know Matt was like when we did the music video, he was like, I don't know what to do with my hands because I always have them on a guitar. He was like, what do I do? I'll just stand. So I think it was something different for them as well because they're used to kind of having that, I guess, kind of not necessarily a comfort blanket for them, but you know what I mean? Something
Yeah.
there. So it was different for them. It was a challenge. And Matt did it over Twitch as well, which I thought was cool. Did a lot of his writing virtually. So it was quite like the audience definitely watched and like gave feedback on certain parts, which
Ah,
was a really unique and interesting way to do it. But I'd love to collaborate with them again in a guitar thing. Like I think that would be something that would be cool to be in the studio together to do so we can really like kind of bounce back and forth off each
yeah.
other with ideas because they're both such incredible musicians as well as vocalists, which is something that blows my mind because I could never like sing and play guitar at the same time. It is impossible. I do not know how they do it. So that would be a really cool thing to incorporate in the future for sure.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe that gives you some inspiration to be able to sing one day. I mean, if they could play guitar at that high level, then maybe it's time to open up your vocal ability.
Maybe, I'm never going to say never, but I just don't have a very strong voice, if that makes sense. Like I can sing in tune. I used to sing backing, but I don't think I have a powerful voice. It's definitely something I need to work on. But at the same time, like what I enjoy doing is guitar. I don't particularly enjoy singing or being a front woman necessarily.
Okay.
So I like to sort of stay in my lane, let people who know how to do it kind of rock the show and I'll support them as best I can. But like I said, never say never. We'll see. I fancy myself a bit of a rapper as well. So
Oh, okay. There we go. Some rapping and shredding.
yeah, I'm just kidding. That would be awful, but
I think my favorite song on the album and one of my favorite singers and a person that used to be in the back and stepped up to the front would be
Mm.
Brandon from Atreyu in the song Pressure. Talk to me about making
Yeah.
one with him.
Yeah, that was really awesome. Like I've been an Atreyu fan for so long. And I was really surprised when he just agreed to do it because I kind of a lot of these vocalists I just kind of messaged out of the blue on Instagram and I was like, "Hi, I'm Sophie. Do you want to sing on my song?" and kind of sent them a link. And he was immediately like, "Yeah, I love this. I really, really vibe with this." I get he was another one that he started writing on Twitch as well. So he did some of the writing and recording on Twitch, which was cool for me as well because I could kind of sit there while he was live
Hmm.
and give him some feedback on what like lyrical content I fancied, what I liked, and things like that. And I think that's one of the main songs that actually a lot of people have come up to me and been like, "This song helped me through so much." Because I think he really wrote that song from the heart, and like the lyrics I think are really impactful for people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that it's really really special song on the album I think for me. And I was speaking to him because with everyone I told them the album concept, which was about imposter syndrome, which is the title of the album, and that kind of performance anxiety and like the pressures you can feel that that it just life in general kind of puts upon you. And I think he really took that and really put his own spin on it. And it was just so cool when he sent it back, like being a fan of Atreyu and hearing like sort of his voice on
Yeah.
some of their more recent songs and stuff, and then being like, "Oh my God, that's my song." with him. It's really funny. So yeah, but he did absolutely incredible. And actually it's been nice because recently I've actually got to meet them because obviously it was all
Oh,
online. I've
cool.
actually got to meet them in person, like at download and stuff. And that was it was just so nice. I feel like we're like kindred spirits. It's been really amazing.
Yeah, I mean his voice is so I guess believable. A big Atreyu fan as well, and they recently
Yeah.
played the Curse, the album, their second album in its entirety, locally at the House of Blues of Anaheim, and
Oh wow.
incredible show. But now they're doing that. They're going to go tour and do that in Europe next year. That album
Yeah, I think
entirety.
that's amazing. Like that's such a good album, and I think it really shows off his voice and their skills as a band and stuff. So I'm definitely going to catch that when they come over here.
Yeah, I love it. You know, even all the little interludes and instrumentals in between and everything just puts you
Yeah.
into listening to that on CD for the first time and the entire album. And I love that bands are still doing that and there is still an album market in this day and age.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's like, because a lot of people like want to make singles and stuff, which I think is
Yeah.
awesome. But I just love having something that you can like physically kind of hold and be like, I did this. Like that kind of physicality of it, I just really, really like. So I definitely want to keep making albums as well.
Are you starting to work on the follow-up to Imposter Syndrome or way too soon?
I'm always writing. Like I'm always doing lots of writing. I don't think I've quite found the direction that I want to go in just yet. But I'm always writing. I'm also getting back into writing a lot of shreds and also playing the Imposter Syndrome album live. Like that's a new thing we started. Like because we've only been playing live pretty much since our first show was October 17th at the Underworld. So the Whisk, and then we just got off a couple days ago. We just did Cardiff Arena, supporting a band called Those Damn Crows, and then our third show technically will be the Whisky. So that's all very new, playing this stuff live and seeing how we can change some of the songs, make them more live friendly, add some really cool, unique aspects to it to make it different to the album. Help different singers like kind of fit into the songs and stuff. So that's been a really kind of unique thing that we've been doing as well. So I think writing wise, I'd really like to go full into it kind of when I'm back from America, maybe like February, March time. I'd love to like sort of really get writing again.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, I got to focus on the live show for now.
Yeah.
Sophie, I appreciate all the time. Last thing I wanted to hit you with, we're an old school radio station. We do a feature called Mandatory Metallica every night at 10 p.m., which you're going to be a part of. And curious where you come down. I imagine you're a Metallica fan.
Yes, definitely. Of course.
All right, so help me out with this little Metallica debate my buddy and I are into, coming down on opposing sides on their best thrash metal album. And my buddy picks Ride the Lightning, where I come down on Master of Puppets. If you had to pick one out of those two, which one would it be?
That's a really hard question, but I would have to say Master of Puppets. That's what got me into Metallica 100%. And like just like the catchiness of the riffs and stuff, everything on that. That's just really what, was another album that really got me into guitar. So yeah, I'm on your side for that, I think. But Ride the Lightning is amazing as well. So
Yeah, I mean that's the conceit. They're both amazing albums, but I just thought Master was perfection. Like no bad songs, no skip songs. It
yeah, you can
sounded so
listen to
much
it front
better.
to back.
Sounded so much better than Ride the Lightning did too, and to be able to write like Orion and Damage Incorporated on the same record is incredible.
Yeah, it is amazing, and yeah, just how listenable it is. Like from the first song to the last song, you can literally, and it tells a story throughout it. I think it's a masterpiece.
It really is. I think that's perfection. I mean,
Mm.
no skips at all.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Just to put a button on it, is there a song we can play for you? Do you have a favorite Metallica song we can play for you on Mandatory Metallica off any album?
Uh, yes, I do. I'm gonna be really cheesy and say Enter Sandman because
Ah,
that's the shred version that I've been doing in all of my live shows. I've been doing an Enter Sandman shred version, so we're gonna listen to the real thing.
beautiful. Thank you so much for the time. Can't wait for the show in January.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope you can come along.
Yeah, I should be out there for it, so hopefully I'll get a chance to say hi.
Amazing, definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thanks, Sophie. Have a good one.
Yeah,
Happy
have a great
holidays.
day. Bye bye.